Can you believe this bullshit? Thousands in two U.S. states were told to stay indoors as air fills with heart attack causing toxins. Victims. The air is filled with heart attack causing toxins. So they warned us to stay inside. This was actually on my birthday, February 3rd, this past Tuesday. Take a look. Daily Mail right there. Thousands in two U.S. states. I thought Alabama, I know it's Florida and Georgia, but I thought Alabama was included. Two U.S. states were told, you don't tell me anything what to do. We're told to stay indoors as air fills with heart attack causing toxins. You ever heard of such a thing? Look how slow this is. Look how slow that is. It's ridiculous. Thousands of Americans near two major cities have been warned to stay inside as airborne pollutants have risen to dangerous levels for human health. You don't say. They're spraying us like bugs. What are these toxins? Inquiring minds want to know. Air quality meters from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, they're criminals, sounded the alarm Tuesday morning, showing unsafe conditions in both Daytona Beach, Florida, and Atlanta, Georgia. Well, what were they experimenting? What were they doing in these two locations? Probably spraying us like bugs. All the more, even harder. And God knows what else they put in there. Live tracking data captured sharply elevated levels of parts per million, PM, we'll call it PM 2.5. They're microscopic particles composed of toxic chemicals or heavy metals. Microscopic particles, they discovered, sharply elevated levels of PM 2.5, whatever that is, I don't even know. Microscopic particles composed of toxic chemicals or heavy metals that are small enough to penetrate, I hate that word, why do I use that word? They could go into the lungs, inflame the respiratory system, and even contribute to heart attacks. Well, how convenient. Heavy metals is what they are. Well, that's what they put in the chemtrails. I'm trying to say that these particles come from wildfire smoke. I don't recall Daytona Beach. You had a wildfire over there? Hell far, I don't think so. Atlanta, Georgia didn't. I don't know anybody that's had a wildfire around these parts. What are you talking about, Willis? But this is what they're saying. Daytona Beach has roughly about 80,000 residents, and the PM 2.5 concentration was recorded at 12.5 times higher than the World Ill Health Organization's recommended safe limit. So, you got a criminal organization like the World I call them Ill Health, not about your health. Well, yeah, they are, about destroying it. But you got the World Ill Health Organization setting a guide saying this is what the safety limit is of ingesting these heavy metal toxins, these microscopic particles. They're saying this right here. Well, it's 12.5 times higher in Daytona and the Atlanta area. As of my birthday, this past Tuesday, February 3rd. 12.5 times higher than what a criminal organization like the WHO has already suggested as a safe limit. Let that sink in. 12.5 times higher. So they must have been doing some heavy-duty ass spraying in these locations. Extra spraying. Because they even said this is, let me get it. I swear I just came across it. Here, let me show you exactly what it says. I thought parts per million. No, I don't know what PM2 is, but elevated levels of PM 2.5. Anyway, it's microscopic particles composed of toxic compounds or heavy metals. Do you see that? That's all you need to know. That are small enough to go into the lungs. Stop to penetrate shit. Perverts. Inflame the respiratory system and even contribute to heart attacks. That's all you need to know. When do you get heavy metals from wildfires? Since when? Huh? Since when? You get heavy metals from Zipline spraying us like bugs, right? Barium, strontium, and aluminum, for starters. Go look up thetruthaboutcancer.org. I think it's .com, one or the other. Ty and Charlene Bollinger head that up. By the way, I haven't seen them on YouTube in quite some time. I used to always get them in my feed. But anyway, they have an article on their website. It's an old article. But it talks about blood desiccants in there. Blood desiccants, or desiccated blood cells in the chemtrails. That's what they said. Thetruthaboutcancer.org. But here, this article's admitting that 12 and a half times the amount of the recommended WHO level, way above the WHO level's safety, so-called safety limit. All right? And this affected most heavily, let's see, around Atlanta's suburban areas, multiple readings surpassed 150 and even 160, including Dallas, Powder Springs, Roswell, and Vining. So let me just say this. My mom has been severely under the weather since, I would say, last Saturday. However, I was going balls to walls, feeling great, fine, strong, healthy as a horse, strong as an ox. Then I woke up on my birthday, February 3rd, when this shit happened. I've been sick ever since. Respiratory, nose running, cough, sore throat, and they even said that these are all the symptoms. Drain like a mofo. But here's what's really interesting. They say, well, you shouldn't go out and exercise. When did you ever hear that? Oh yeah, that's right, during the lockdowns. Don't go outside, stay inside, right? Let me also ask you this. So if I shut my doors, that's going to prevent the outside air and the microscopic nano heavy metals from getting in the house? I don't think so, because the air is in here comes from the air out there, does it not? I mean, the house doesn't make its own air. The grocery stores don't make their own air. No, it comes in from the outside. You have vents everywhere, right? So this is so stupid. Oh, don't go outside, don't exercise. They don't want you to exercise. They always bring that up. It didn't just say don't go outside. It said don't go outside and exercise. They don't want us healthy, do they? Not at all. It says if you do go outside, wear a muzzle. They love the mask. It's got nanoparticulates that's going to go through your mask. I've tried that back in 2016 when I first heard about chemtrails. Hello. I only lasted a few minutes with that mask on me, and then I realized this. I don't care. I'm just going to breathe in the fresh chemtrail air because I cannot breathe with that shit over my mouth. This is friggin' retarded. All right? It makes me wonder what kind of experiment. We know that they're spraying all over the world, but it makes me wonder what kind of experiment were they doing in Daytona Beach and also Atlanta. Well, they're also saying this could also exacerbate or cause heart attacks. Well, if you got heavy metals in you, I guess they want to send some frequencies your way. Maybe that'll do it? Cause you a heart attack? That's what I'm thinking. There's no wildfires. Heavy metals, they don't come from wildfires. Do they? What wildfire smoke? It says the increased levels have been tied to recent wildfire smoke exacerbating a condition called stagnant air, where little to no wind and high atmospheric pressure trap pollution near ground level. We've had winds since last weekend. It's been kind of windy. I can't even blow off the property because it's windy. There's no point in doing it. It's been windy every day since last Saturday when the temperatures really plummeted. Remember that? So I'll show you this area. You see this? You see that? You see this? I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. It's a crazy ass map. But this is what it supposedly looked like in Daytona Beach. Of course, this is all done on purpose. All done by design. Shortness of breath, irregular heartbeats, asthma attacks, coughing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. Breathing in particles produced by smoke. There's no smoke. Car exhaust. Get over that. Car exhaust been around since cars been around. Factory emissions. There's no factories. I mean, there are, but not like in the city. Factory emissions. Why would that be a problem at this particular time in Atlanta? Why would car exhaust be a problem in Atlanta and Daytona this particular time? It's not that. It's not that. All right. Irregular heartbeats, asthma attacks, coughing, chest tightness, shortness of breath. That's all friggin'. I guess they would have had a wildfire down there in Florida. I don't get it. Anyway, why would that affect Atlanta area and Daytona if you had a wildfire down near Daytona? What wildfire? You don't have a lot of trees there. You have palm trees every so often, but not enough to have a wildfire. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? Have you heard anything about a wildfire in Daytona? Do heavy metal particulates come from burning wood? I don't think so. Wood's made out of wood. But I know what heavy metals do come from. Zipline. Zipline. Yeah. Shortness of breath. Irritation of the eyes, throat, and nose. Yeah. A lot of people have been sick this week and run down. Not everybody, but it affected me. I woke up Tuesday and boom, felt like I've been hit with a Mack by a Mack truck or train. I still went through my day, but I felt like death warmed over. There's a lot of people that have been sick this past week run down. Not everybody though. See, it affects people that are more susceptible to this, I guess, breathing problems or respiratory, and it happened to be this week for me. I've been going strong for the longest time, and all of a sudden, boom, been run down sick, sneezing like a mofo, sneezing, like my body's just trying to get rid of shit that's like I breathe it in. Fucking chemtrails, ain't no damn wildfire in my ass. Listen to this. I'm gonna play you the 911. This is crazy. People are batshit crazy. They've lost their mind. Do you know I talk to people about like the world we're in, and I ask them like, how do you feel? Does it feel normal? How do you? A lot of people say they feel uneasy. They feel like a shoe's gonna drop. This one woman at the gym tonight, we're talking about the state of humanity in the world, and she was like, people are they're just not there. It's like I said, what? Like they're empty vessels, like they're soulless. A lot of people. She goes, yeah. I said, well, I actually did a video about that. I covered information about that. I covered a video about soulless people. Well, actually, it was a news article. I said recently about how a lot of people out there are just, they seem like they're dead. They seem like they're non-playing characters, NPCs. And she says, yeah. I said, do you think it was always like this? Because I don't think so. And she goes, no. And she's younger than me. She's like 39. But she's old enough to know that this isn't the world that we grew up in. Everything's just strange. People are strange, and people feel like a shoe's gonna drop. People doing weird shit. People have always done weird things, but it seems like it's increasing more and more. Like this. A horrific scene unfolded inside a Pennsylvania Olive Garden last week when an employee died after jumping headfirst into a deep fryer during the middle of a shift, according to police and emergency call records. That doesn't even... Why? First of all, I've worked in fast food restaurants. I haven't... full serve? Nah, I did... Well... Yeah, I worked at IHOP. That was full serve. I worked Chick-fil-A Dwarf House. That was full serve. It was also fast food side. I've worked at Chick-fil-A's that were just fast food. I've worked at fast food mostly. I've worked at some full serve. I've never, in all my life, I've never seen a fryer that you could actually jump into head first. They're not that big. Dropping fries, the fryer is usually a little bit longer than the fry basket, and it's only wide enough to fit 2 fry baskets in, or something like that. Chick-fil-A, the Henny's, yeah, that's a fryer. It's the brand name of a fryer. It's a pressure cooker. It's only big enough to drop a big basket in. How do you do it head first? I mean, was he bobbing for apples like that and stuck his head in there? Because you can't dive into it unless Olive Garden has a big-ass vat that I'm unaware of. And for what? What are they frying? Spaghetti? I don't know. But this person did... It says jumping in. You don't jump in head first, but whatever. Died after jumping in head first into a deep fryer during the middle of a shift. If you want to commit suicide, that's a hellacious way to go. Burning alive, and then maybe perhaps burning for eternity for burning yourself alive. But then again, you gotta be out of your gourd to do this in the first place. So maybe he gets a free pass and gets to go to heaven. I don't know. You have to be saved. I'm just saying. This is ridiculous. The shocking incident happened Friday afternoon at the Williamsport Olive Garden as diners and staff were inside the restaurant. Authorities say the unidentified worker removed his clothing in the kitchen before diving in a vat of boiling oil. And I brought this up to my mother tonight, and she says, why did he take off his clothes? I was like, I have no clue why. I mean, maybe it hurts more if you have burning clothes on as you're burning your body in oil. Boy, I don't know. I guess when you're out of your mind, could have been on drugs. Could have been frequencies. We don't even know. Panicked 911 calls captured the chaos that followed. In one call obtained by the Smoking Gun, a dispatcher told officers there was a burn victim at the restaurant. Okay, I'm scrolling to see. The man was transported to a nearby hospital with catastrophic injuries and later died. A female employee suffered minor burns while trying to stop him. Yeah, that shit splashes on you, especially if he's diving, trying to get in there, his body, and kill himself, and that oil goes everywhere. I've worked in restaurants, and like I said, it was just commonplace to come home with burns all over my arms and shit. Yeah, and that's just from me being careful. Grease pops here, you're working real fast, and oh shit, fuck, Imagine, like, if diving in a pool, some jackass diving in a fucking vat of hot oil, and it splash as you're trying to stop him. You're gonna get burned. This is insane. Pennsylvania State Police later confirmed the incident is being investigated as a suicide attempt. Well, did he die? It's not an attempt. Officials declined to release the man's identity. Why? Withholding out of respect for the individual and his family. The disturbing episode left employees shaken and stunned customers trying to process what they just witnessed. It doesn't really say why. It's one of the most graphic and unsettling workplace deaths in recent memory. I just saw like a year or two ago. It was a meat pie. Tina's burritos. You heard of that? They're fucking expensive as all get out. Tina's burritos, if I remember correctly, and I think it was out in New Mexico or Arizona, somewhere along there. And this employee, literally, I guess it was the end of the shift, had to clean a certain area, and I don't know if he accidentally turned on the meat grinder or someone else accidentally did, but he got grounded up. It makes you wonder what's in the burritos. So listen to this. Oh yeah, here's another one. Daily Mail. Get ready. Fake alien invasion alert. Warning, Will Robinson. Let me do it. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning, Will Robinson. Fake alien invasion alert. Fake alien invasion alert. Trump greenlights UFO disclosure of secret bases hiding crashed ships and non-human bodies, U.S. Congressman claims. Daily Mail. There we go. Okay. See how long it takes for these news sites to load their damn videos? I ain't got all day.
You gonna tell me just for signing up you received $2 million?
Come on, man.
Free gold coins?
They legitimately are trying to make happen is a series of visits to some of these locations, right? Like I have obviously been given throughout this investigation locations that where it's reported that that these materials or objects or craft exist, or the bodies exist, or the archive exists. The White House has told the DoD to make it happen. I mean, to Trump's credit, as a disclosure. So that's the extent at which they've been involved. Is literally just saying to the Department of Defense that, hey, Burleson we're backing his request. Do what you can to make it happen. And so I'm very grateful for that. It's been very difficult to make happen.
Floor coverings
So it sounds like to me that they're about ready to do that disclosure. But hopefully they'll do it after the movie disclosure drops this June or something like that. I guess they'll have to do it a little bit after that. Maybe in the fall, around Halloween. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Lou Ferrigno knows, but they're getting ready. It's still a thing. It's weird. What else we got for you in clown world? Say this, folks. Let me just say this. I got in queue. I got a traditional shock treatment in queue, ready to go. The old format. Like I said, I'll try to do it once a week, and usually it lands on Saturdays. I got it ready. I do. But I do believe I'm going to do videos like this. Little quick snippets. Boom, 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 boom. Hit you real hard. Could be for 45 minutes. Boom, look at this with commentary. Because I'm seeing so much stuff that I cannot actually cover in the traditional way. I have to do real quick. Point and click. Point and click. Click the phone. Point the phone. Click. That's what I got to do. More and more. Because I'm seeing so much stuff. I mean, some of it's kind of crazy, silly, and some of it's like this. Anti-ICE libtards who created checkpoints in Minneapolis just ironically made the best case for borders and voter ID to the media. Let's take a look at how these libtards keep tripping all over themselves to prove us right. I'm not saying I'm an advocate for checkpoints in the U.S., but let's just take a look what they're saying.
We are literally creating a place that we know who's coming and going in and out of our neighborhoods.
In the middle of the road.
You know who's coming and going in and out of your neighborhoods. Isn't that what we're trying to do? Who's coming and going in and out of our neighborhoods, our states, our country? Idiots. That's why we're trying to get out this mess, these illegals, you morons. But meanwhile, they're creating their own little checkpoints in their own city to see who's coming in, who's legit to come in and who's not. That's the same friggin' point we're making, you fucking moronic libtards. Why we want to have closed border and IDs? You friggin' idiots, you morons are proving our point again.
Creating a place that we know who's coming and going.
Oh
in and
yeah,
out.
that's what we want to do too, moron. That's the whole point of getting rid of the illegals, idiot. They have no IDs, they're not U.S. citizens, and they're illegal, morons. You're just making you're just solidifying a case.
Neighborhoods.
In the middle of the road at 32nd and Cedar Avenue, a makeshift roadblock turned this intersection into a roundabout. Cars slowed as drivers noticed, some honked, others asked questions, and one man brought food for the people standing watch.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much.
How did it make you feel just seeing a community
Let me bringing them
checkpoint
shit.
in your neighborhood?
Well, it felt fine. I don't have any trouble with folks helping out.
Wade Haynes has been standing at this corner twice a day for one reason: to stand up against ICE activity and keep his community safe. He chose this corner. Others chose this intersection.
It's kind of inspiring. It's like, wow, okay. We've got folks out there who are kind of taking care of us, looking out for us. That's good.
But Minneapolis police stepped in, clearing the roadblock
Good.
and
Good.
restoring flow of traffic.
You couldn't create your own roundabout. You couldn't create your own checkpoint. They'd arrest your ass. But meanwhile, these bastards are allowed to do that? I'm glad they're getting rid of that.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad about it.
Still, residents say the roadblock was necessary.
We need to keep our neighbors safe, so we will be doing this again.
Libtards are that damn dumb. They really are. There's so much that I want to share with I'll leave you with this nifty little clip. Why are young women attracted to older men? Men, watch and learn. If you're an older guy, maybe this will help you out. I don't know. Let's take a look at what she has to say.
Why
Go
are
ahead,
young
Toots.
women attracted to older men? It goes deeper than you think. It is not because they're broken gold diggers or being
Sure it's not. Sure it's not.
manipulative. It is because older men activate something that younger men haven't developed yet. Young women bring youth, beauty, curiosity, softness. Older men bring experience, confidence, emotional control, and safety. That pairing has worked for thousands of years because of what? Biology and polarity.
Now, I will say this. Women do generally go after men who are older. Generally in the, 7 to 10 year range. Maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher. But yeah, that's true. That's true. It's been like that. My dad was 7 years older than my mom, so yeah.
Young woman is wired to seek a man who can guide her and protect her and elevate her, not control her, but teach her.
Right.
Older men teach.
Yeah.
They teach emotional maturity.
Yeah.
They teach communication. They teach discipline and long-term thinking. They can show her calm leadership and what masculine reassurance actually feels like. She grows up faster beside an older man than with somebody who is still becoming himself. And what does he get in return? She brings him back to life. Her softness, her energy wakes up parts of him that he forgot. Her femininity.
What parts? She said parts. She said wakes up. Yeah, wakes up. Give me a Woody.
He sharpens his masculinity. This isn't a
I'm
transaction.
sure she do.
It is pure polarity.
It's not a transaction. The fact that you said it's not a transaction might be lead me to believe it could be. Just saying.
And human nature. Younger men are still figuring themselves out, building themselves up emotionally, financially, mentally. They're unsure, inconsistent, and that is normal for their age. Women don't fall for potential.
Yeah.
They fall for certainty. Older men know who the hell they are. They know what they want. They know how to show up.
Yeah.
They offer so much direction and protection and stability. That's why young women choose older men.
Yeah.
They feel safe enough to be feminine, open, and soft again.
Yeah.
It is not creepy. It's not new. It's the oldest pairing in human history. Those who despise it most are usually the ones with nothing of value to offer to either side.
Boom.
Why are young...
For what that's worth. For what that's worth. That's what I got for you. Like I said, I do have a lot of information ready in queue for tomorrow night, Lord willing. But I'll leave it right there. I think I'm going to do more videos like this, whether you like it or not. It's easier for me. It's more fun for me. And I could cover a lot more information. So that's what I got. Yeah, I need a haircut. At any rate, like, share, subscribe, follow, or don't. At any rate, if you see a troll say something, I am Oot.